you should be more familiar with the political and social issues of Athens at the time. Now, as such, these were designed by the city. They were funded by the city. All male citizens could go once a year to this great festival called the City Dionysia. And in this festival, three tragedies would be performed a day. And they would all teach something, a moral of sorts. And they would inform you as to how to vote and how to be a better citizen. Now, this particular play is a little bit different than the classic Greek tragedies of yore. For one thing, we are not using all male actors. It is much easier to find women who are willing to act. For another thing, we are not going to deal with the masks that would completely cover the face except for a hole around the mouth that acts kind of like a funnel to help you project. We have neither the resources nor the time to create these, so we're going new school and abandoning all masks. Also, we will not be using costumes that indicate, the way they would indicate that a woman was a woman, or rather a man that was a man would have a very large fake penis hanging on his costume. And we're not going to bother with that because we have women, so we don't have to differentiate. We will be starting in the middle of the play, well, towards the end of the play, really, in which Medea, who has come from a very far land, has saved Jason's butt more times than can be counted, has now been abandoned by him so that he can go marry a younger blonde princess. He's left her with 2 children to try and raise, and no form of income, and she's not even a citizen. She's not even from Greece, and she's stuck in Thebes. Now, like any sane, normal, rational woman, her response is, of course, to kill the new wife of her ex-husband. And she will do this by sending her children with gifts to the princess, which are poisoned and will kill her and her father. She will also get the ultimate revenge, as you will see throughout the course of this scene. Now, we will be starting as the princess has just been killed. All violence on a Greek stage happened off stage. You never saw it. You just got these really gory descriptions. And that's where we're going to start. There were, of course, no children harmed in the production of this play. More's the pity. Thank you.
I have waited and watched a long time to find out how things turn out over there. Finally, a woman comes, one of Jason's attendants. Her labored breathing tells me she had some troubled news to report.
You've done a terrible deed. Against the law! Medea, flee! Flee! Take any conveyance you can. Some kind of ship or earth-treading chariot.
What happened then to warrant such a hasty flight?
Died. They've just now died. The princess and Creon, her father, died because of your poisons.
The best word you could possibly speak. You will be forever among my friends and benefactors.
What are you saying? Are you sane, not mad, woman, who committed royal tyranny against the hearth, and showed delight, not fear, in hearing the news?
I too can tell a tale to match yours, but take your time, my friend. Tell me then, how did they die? For twice the pleasure you'll give if they died a terrible death.
When the 2 children, whom you bore, went with their father and came into the bridal quarters, we servants who were suffering with your troubles were gladdened to hear the rumor going around that you and your husband had settled your previous quarrel. The mistress, whom we now honor in your place, held her veil before her eyes and cast her white cheek in the other direction. Your husband tried to dispel the girl's livid anger. Yet, upon seeing the finery, she couldn't resist. Before he and your sons had proceeded far from the palace, she took up the embroidered gown and begun to put it on. Then, she placed the golden tiara upon her locks, arranging her hair in a brightly reflecting mirror, smiling at her body's lifeless image. What happened next was a terrible sight. Her complexion turned pale. She stumbled sideways, her body shook. She barely managed to reach her chair without falling flat on the floor. One of her serving women supposing a fit of Pan or some other god was upon her, cried out with joy. But then she saw, around her mouth, the white foam oozing, the eyes rolling wildly in their sockets, the blood all gone from her skin. In place of her earlier cry of joy, she let out a great wail of grief. Then, quick, faster than the sprinter could run out of his 200-yard course, she awoke from her faint, eyes opened, and she let out a terrible moan of misery, for a double agony was now assaulting her. First, the golden diadem that lay upon her head sent out a furious stream of flame. Then, her fine-wrought robes, your children's gift, started eating away at the white flesh of the unfortunate girl. Faster than anything, her complexion turned pale. She fell to the floor, overcome by her own misfortune. We were all afraid to touch her corpse. Her flesh oozed from her bones like tears from a resin from a pine. Her father, poor wretch, unaware of the misfortune, burst into the house, fell upon her corpse, and held her and spoke and kissed her softly. My unfortunate child, what divinity has destroyed you so? Alas, child, I wish I could die with you. As soon as the sobs and the laments came to an end, and he wanted to make his aged body rise, he stuck fast to her like branches of bay to ivy. He wanted to get up on his knees and rise, but she held fast. Finally, the old man gave up, withered away next to her. They lie now, corpses, aged father and child together forever. A calamity that calls for tears.
It seems that today some divinity has chosen to heap a mass of sufferings on Jason, though not unjustified. Oh, poor girl, Creon's daughter, how you stir our pity. Driven to Hades hellbound on account of your marriage bond with Jason.
My friends, I have resolved upon the deed to kill the boys as quickly as possible and flee the country. I shall not by delaying give my children over to another, more unfriendly hand to murder. And since their death is inevitable, I who gave birth to them shall kill them. Up then, arm yourself, my heart. Why wait to do the dreadful evil that must be done? Take up the sword, take it, and go to life's goal of grief. Do not be cowardly. Do not remember the children, how you love them, how you adore them. For this short day, forget all about the children, then grieve. For even if you kill them, you still bore them, still you love them. Oh, what a woeful woman I am.
Do you hear the cry of the children in the house? Should I go? I think I should try to help the children. Oh, wretched woman, you must have been iron or stone to kill the children's seedlings which you bore.
Woman who stands in attendance near this house, is the one who did these horrible things Medea still at home, or has she made good her escape? She must now either hide beneath the earth or take wing and fly up to heaven's height to avoid reprisals from the household of the king. Is she sure she can slay the princes of the land and still escape from this house free and unpunished? Still, I care less for her than for the children. She will fall victim and turn to those she wronged. I have come, however, to save my children's lives, to keep the king's family from making them pay for the foul murder committed by their mother.
Poor Jason, if you knew, you would not speak so.
What is it? I suppose she wants to kill me, too.
Your children are dead. Their own mother's hand slayed them.
What are you saying? Woman, you've destroyed me!
Finally realized I say your children are no more.
Where did she kill them? Inside or outside the house?
If you open the doors, you will see the boy's bloody body.
Attendants! Unlock the bolts! As fast as you can, release the latches. Let me see the double evil, the victims and their killer, whom I will punish!
Why do you move to unbar the gate, seeking the corpses and I who made them so? If you need something, ask for it, for your hand shall never touch me. This chariot here, my father's father, the sun god, gave to me to ward off enemies' might.
You hateful creature! Woman by far most loathsome! To the gods! To me! To the entire human race! A mother! And you dare thus to sword into your own children? Thus making me a childless ruin. In doing this, you look upon the sun and the earth, though daring the foulest of crimes? Go to damnation! My sins has returned, though then I lacked it when taking you from your home, a foreign land, and bringing you to a Greek house, a great evil, betrayer of your father and the land that gave you birth. The gods have inflicted your avenger against me, after killing your brother who shared your hearth. You went aboard the Argo, the ship of beautiful prow, and that was the way you began. Then you married this husband here, and bore me children, but because of the bed and sex, you murdered them? No Greek woman would ever have dared this, yet I ranked you above them and married you. A wife who hated and ruined me. A lioness, not a woman, who had nature more fierce even than that of Etruscan Scylla. But not even by casting 10,000 insulting remarks could I sting you. So savage is your inborn nature. Be damned! Shamefully defiled by your children's blood. It is now left for me to lament my fate. Now I will never share my new bride's bed, nor be able to speak to the children I bred and raised, yet alive in this world, for I have lost them.
I could stretch out a long speech refuting your arguments if Father Zeus didn't know what you took from me and what you got in return. I will not have you dishonor my bed and live a pleasant life laughing at me, nor will your princess and the father who gave her to you exile me and get away scot-free. Call me a lioness, or Scylla from Etruria if you like, for I have fittingly driven my sting into your heart.
Yet you grieve too, and share in the disaster.
True, but grief is gain and keeps you from laughing at me.
Oh, children, what an evil mother you have encountered!
Oh, children! Your father's illness killed you.
At least it wasn't my right hand that killed them.
No, it was your insults and your newly founded marriage.
Did you really think it proper to kill them because of the marriage bed?
Did you think this was a small suffering for a woman?
For a self-controlled woman, but for you, a world of evil.
I've killed these children. That will harm you.
Alas, they do live, as avenging spirits who will bring down pollution on your head.
The gods know who's the first to inflict suffering.
And they know truly how loathsome your heart is.
Loathe on then. I detest your shrill barking.
Not yours. We are easily done with each other.
How? What should I do? I'd like that very much.
Allow me to bury them and weep for them.
No, indeed. I shall bury them with my hand up on Hera's shrine on the cliff. In this day in Sisyphus, we will hold sacred feasts and rituals in honor of this impious murder. And I will flee to Athens and live with Medea, son of Pandion. And you crude being, you will have the death fittingly as me. You will be struck on the head with a piece of your beloved ship Argos. A bitter termination to your marriage with me.
May the children's fury and justice, avenger of murder, destroy you.
What god, what spirit would ever come to your aid, breaker of oaths, deceiver of friends?
You polluted slayer of your children!
Go home and bury your bride.
I am going, deprived of my 2 children.
There's more lamenting to come. Wait for all day.
Oh, dearest children!
Dearest to their mother, not to you.
get you killed?
To hurt you.
Oh, I am miserable. I wish I could kiss the dearest lips of my children.
Now you speak to them. Now you care before you drove them away.
In the name of the gods, allow me to touch the skin of my dear children.
No. Your words have been uttered in vain.
Zeus! Do you hear how she rejects me? Do you see what she is doing to me? This polluted, child-murdering lioness? But with the breath and force that are in me, I will raise up a dirge and summon the gods and call on them to witness how you murdered my children and now keep me from touching them with my hands and burying their bodies. Would I never have begotten them to see them murdered by you?
4 dragons.
Thank you for coming to our performance of Medea. We have our indestructible Medea, our wonderful Jason, our spectacular messenger, and 2 coolest dragons on the planet.